Hey guys, it's J7D with Talk to Me, J7D, and today I'm here with
Kendall Hilton from
Miss
Fan Eye Sports.
Mr. Hilton. What did you say about sports?
Fan Eye, that's the name of the brand.
Okay, that's your brand?
Yes.
And how did you create that brand?
Got tired of watching ESPN and hearing them talk about all the goofy stuff, so I was like, no, I could do what they do, so just created my own thing.
So you're a black-owned ESPN.
Basically.
Interesting.
Yeah, basically.
That's super dope. So what do you cover?
Name of sport, I probably covered it. Only thing I haven't covered is golf and hockey. So, but I try to do it from like a fan's point of view, you know. Try to keep everything as close to the essence, close to the culture as possible.
Are you an athlete?
Yes.
What did you play? Or what do you play?
Lacrosse and football.
A black guy playing lacrosse.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Actually, we like if we played that sport, like if we put more time into it, we'd dominate it because it's very very similar to basketball.
Lacrosse is?
Yeah, very similar. You run the same plays, you know, you play defense the same concepts on offense, defense, all that. Like you run screens, pick and rolls, all that stuff is in lacrosse.
Interesting. So what's your favorite sport? Like what's your favorite sport in general, and then what's your favorite sport to play?
Football, easy.
Who's your favorite team?
I'm a Cowboys fan. People not gonna like that. They're not gonna like that.
Why do you like the Cowboys?
I've been a fan since I was 5, you know. You can go back to my grandmother's house and my room. She painted my room all Cowboy stuff, and it's still like that to this day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all good.
So are you currently still playing?
Nah.
How do you keep your feet in? Like I know that's a passion of yours. So how do you stay connected to the sport?
What I'm doing now, you know, going out, covering games, talking to athletes. You know, that's how I stay close to it. That feeds that inner beast that's inside.
So do you think that's going to be enough to feed it?
Yeah, I'm too old now. My playing days is over.
Really?
Yeah, they over. I've accepted that though. Like I might go do some little recreational stuff, but I'm not pursuing anything as far as like athletic wise, you know.
And who's your favorite Baltimore athlete?
That's a good question. I don't think I have one particular favorite. I like all of them. I like, you know, Akil Carr, Tavon Austin. You got Will Barton. You can even go back to guys like Mo Hatton. Yeah, it's a lot, you know. I love the history that we have here. I think I love that more than anything. I love Baltimore history because we're such a small town, but our athletes and our sports history runs real deep on every level.
Share that history with us. I'm not a sports fan, so I don't know anything about sports. So share it a little bit.
I mean, it depends on what sport. You got basketball, you know, you can go back to the 70s, guys like Skip Wise, who, you know, he's legendary for what he did and during his era. And, you know, each era got their own players. You know, Carmelo Anthony, he's still playing in the NBA today. And if you go to like a college roster, and you'll likely see a Baltimore kid.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you know we're on quarantine and kids are out of school.
Yes.
What do you suggest a future athlete to do right now? With no recs open, they taking the hoops out of I think they started putting them back, but earlier in the quarantine, they started taking like the hoops out in the black neighborhoods. I would drive through white neighborhoods and they would still have them, but they were gone.
Go outside. Go outside. I think nowadays players they're not going outside, especially basketball. They're not going outside as much as they used to. They're not just playing. You know, everything is you got to train, you got to do this. It's more like a job for them now. So I think this is the perfect time for them to just go outside and just play
And have fun.
You know, that's the point of it all, is to have fun. Yeah, you know, you want to make it to the league, you want to make the big dollars, but at the end of the day, we all started playing because we thought it was fun. So try to keep that. That'll keep you going even through the, can I cuss? Even through the bullshit.
So what inspired you to start being on this side of the world? Like you're doing the stories.
I always wanted to. You know,
Really?
that was, that like, when I was a kid, my dream was to go to the league, play for 10 years, and then become like a journalist on TV or something. Like, that was my plan. But, you know, it didn't work out like that. So I found a way, luckily for the internet, you know, I found a way that I can still achieve one of those things. So now I'm 8 years in.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been fun.
So how would you title that? Like, what would you title your job to be? Like, how would you describe it to a child?
That's a good question. I typically tell people I'm a journalist, but I kind of touch every little aspect of like media. So now I just say I'm a storyteller, because that's what I really love doing. I love telling these stories.
Do you journal personally?
No.
You should.
I should, but
Yeah.
I don't.
You only journal about sports.
Pretty much. If it's something that I really, really feel strongly about, I'll write it out. Like, I write an article about it. But other than that, nah.
What advice would you give to an aspiring writer? I used to write when I was younger. That was how I would release it. And now I'm getting back to my childlike self.
Right. That's right. Write as much as you can. Whenever you got something on your mind, whenever you want to put something on Twitter, Facebook, write it out first. Just put all your thoughts, you know, on a blank page and read it, and then it'll help you, one, understand your writing style, and two, it'll help you understand the way you think. I think a lot of writers nowadays, they don't understand their own thoughts. They're trying to write to appeal to the masses instead of, you know, really understanding them.
Self.
Yeah, understanding self. So
Interesting.
that'll be my
Advice. Okay. So what high school did you go to?
Randallstown.
Yuck. Y'all know I am a Milford Miller. Like, yuck.
Y'all wasn't beating us when I was going.
I don't think. It's so crazy because I interviewed one of the dudes that was on the team the other day at Milford. And I think he's like the captain. I don't know the proper terms because I'm not into sports, but I think he was like the captain of the team. I think that's what he was saying. I swear, I think we're the best. So what did Randallstown High School teach you about sports and life?
Sports and life. That's funny.
It taught you nothing.
No, I won't say that. I won't say it taught me nothing. Randallstown taught me. I think I got my social skills from Randallstown. I know how to operate around different people. I think that's what it taught me. As far as sports, I think we had some of the best players in the area, but for some reason, nobody really made it to that next level. Only two players really.
Who?
Kim English, he got drafted to the Pistons. He won a state championship with Randallstown when I was going there.
Wow.
It's a couple football players that made it, but overall, it wasn't as many as it should have been. Like, we should have a long list of pros.
Why is that though? Why is it?
You know, it's two sides of being an athlete. It's a student and it's the athlete. If you're not a student, they won't take you seriously as an athlete.
Interesting.
And that's how they carry it.
So did you go to school afterwards for basketball or sports? What?
I wanted to join the Navy.
What?
Yeah.
You Joey's friend for real.
I wanted to join the Navy before Joey. Like, that was my, because I didn't want to go to school no more. I was just like, I'm done with school. I don't want to sit in nobody's classroom. I don't want to read books and all that unnecessary stuff. So
don't want to read, but you journal.
Ain't it funny?
Interesting. So do you read your own articles?
Yeah, I read when I want to read. But as far as reading a textbook, no, that's not my thing.
What's your sign?
Capricorn.
That's why you're like that. You went to Randallstown and you're a Capricorn. Good God. Yikes.
You might have to cut this.
My bad. Yikes. So, do you feel like you let your dream die?
Nah.
You feel like you're letting it live now since you're journaling on this side?
I feel like life is, you have to go through things. And back then I didn't take the student side seriously. And then at the same time, I didn't really take the athlete side seriously either. I thought I was better than what I was. And after I graduated and I looked around and I was like, I have nowhere to play, I realized like I kind of like fucked up my 4 years. But I needed to go through that, because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be doing this, what I'm doing right now.
I want to talk about that. You thought you were better than what you was.
Yeah.
A lot of us do that. We get ahead of ourselves and we get really, really big headed once we start getting some type of shine. Let's talk about that. How do you feel about that? That's even artists, athletes, that's all.
I mean, everybody want to be, naturally you're going to think you're the shit. Right? And if you don't, you should. But you have to go through humbling experiences. And it depends on how you come back from those humbling. I had opportunities to keep trying to play, but that fire just wasn't in me no more. It was just like, I want to play, but it wasn't fun. It just wasn't fun no more. So I just let it go. But I don't think I let my dream go though. You know, I played, I got respect. I'm good with that. So.
Damn, that's so wild. Okay, so would you like mentor upcoming athletes?
Definitely. I kind of do that now, you know. Now I'm 30, you know, I'm around high school kids. You know, I don't, the thing about this media thing now is the high school kid, they're celebrities now. Like, they're whole celebrities.
Yeah.
So you'll have a lot of guys that are my age that'll try to be that friend and try to, you know, hey bro and all that. And I don't take that approach. I'd rather talk to you and let you know, like, look, man, make sure you watch out for this, watch out for that, and just stay focused. You know, any athlete I talk to, I try to give them that type of advice.
Interesting. Do they receive it?
Some do. I had friendship, like me and Akil. Like, me and Akil done created a major, like a deep bond.
What school does he go to, or did he go to?
He went to, you don't know who Akil Carr is?
No, no offense to him, I don't know sports.
Well, he went to Patterson.
Okay.
And he ushered in this whole YouTube era of mixtape, you know, kids getting, like, being celebrities. Okay. He was like one of the first ones that caught fame off YouTube just from playing basketball. So, and but he became a legend for that.
Interesting. So. Do you have children?
Do I have children? Yes, I have a baby boy. Well, he ain't a baby no more, but I got a son.
He's your baby though.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Man.
So do you teach him sports?
Yeah, he played basketball. He be shooting on his goal already.
Do you want him to be a player?
Since he was like 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Cause it's you. That's what you were doing. Oh my God. So imagine if he follows what you started.
I feel like he will, but I'm not gonna be that dad. I say I'm not, my friends say I am, but I'm not gonna be that dad that's gonna pressure him to do. Like, people always ask me, like, what do I want him to play? I want him to play where he wants to play. If he come home and say, Dad, I want to play cricket, I don't know shit about cricket, but I'm gonna learn. So.
Who raised you?
I was raised by a village. I was lucky, you know. I had great women that raised me, and I had great men that raised me. So I got the best of both worlds.
So you're a balanced adult. That's what they would call you.
Definitely.
And that shows through your career. Definitely.
I understand both sides.
Okay. What would the 30-year-old you tell your 18-year-old self? Oh, God.
That'd be a long conversation. I would just tell myself, you know, I think when I was 18, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Because after the Navy didn't fall through for me, I kind of was just like, all right, well, I'm just going to be out here then. And I was trying to find myself, kind of. And it wasn't until I started blogging. That's how I started. I started just blogging at first when I was like 22. That's when I kind of started paying attention to like entrepreneurship and financial literacy and all this other stuff that I never even thought about when I was 18 or when I was in high school. So I probably would tell myself to jump on that earlier, because if I did it then, you know.
Let's be clear, jump on entrepreneurship.
All that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Financial literacy.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Okay. Give us one key point that you learned about financial literacy.
Saving is not always the best thing to do.
Very true.
If you got it, invest it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the things that people don't really realize. They think, oh, you just save. No, you can save, but invest that bread. Put that bread in something else.
Mm-hmm. And what about entrepreneurship?
Keep going. It's a journey.
Saying.
You know, you gonna go through so many highs and so many lows. You're gonna be depressed. You're gonna be stressed. You gonna be happy. Like, you might go through every emotion in one 24-hour span. So just keep going. You know, don't let nothing stop you.
Interesting. I remember I was in front of Randallstown High School, and I'm super spiritual. And I remember hearing something that just was like, yo, this time around, you have to keep going. And I'm like, okay. Then I started listening to some of my old videos, and I would yell at the artists, like, keep going, keep going. Then when I started managing my drummers, I'm yelling, keep going, keep going. And now I have to be my own cheerleader. Like nights like this, late nights when I'm up and I still have to work, it's like, yo, keep going. This is what you saw. This is your vision. This is what you have to stay clear of. Mm-hmm. So
once you got a vision,
yeah,
it's hard to stop, because it's gonna bug you.
Yeah.
Like, when you see something,
yep,
and it's
so clear.
Yeah, it's so clear. You naturally you gotta keep going. You just have to.
So what's your long-term vision? What do you see at the end for you? Or not even at the end, but what do you see coming up for you?
I think right now I'm in a transition phase. So I think now I'm transitioning into that mentor role. You know, I've been going hard for these last 8 years, like just trying to make my name, trying to, you know, put the brand on the map. And I'm looking at it now, and it's, some people might say, oh, you're not that big. But for me, it's like, man, I know it's legends out here that know me, that respect me and that respect my brand. So I want to continue to build on that and, you know, start creating my own legends.
Interesting. You're going to do it. You are. Like, I've met a lot of people, but I don't remember everyone, and I remember you.
Appreciate that.
I really do. So that's big, because I really don't. Like, it's just like, yo, what did it say? Like, tell me to shut up. Like, but you, like, your energy is super, super genuine. So I never did this before in the interview, but I want to do it with you. Your son is how old?
4.
Speak to him at his 18-year-old self. What would you tell your son at 18 years old?
Stay away from them girls. Stay away from them girls.
Why?
It's a distraction. That's just the honest. And there's nothing against women.
Okay.
There's nothing against. It's just, for men, that's
It's
our
a
weakness.
distraction.
You
Got
know?
it.
Women are our weakness.
So your 18-year-old son, when he turns 18, he can watch this, and your advice would be to stay away from women.
Stay away from women. Stay in the books. Lock in. Go get what you want.
Keep your eye on the prize.
Right.
Interesting. And all the aspiring artists and athletes and people that just have their vision really clear, what would you tell them?
Follow that vision. It's going to get you to where you want to go. Even when the world might tell you that's not it, or you got to do this, or you got to do that, you can take heed to it. You know, listen, definitely listen. Never be that person that doesn't take heed to what people are saying, because you never know when that little gem might just drop in. You know, it might not even be the main topic of y'all conversation, but that one word or that one phrase might trigger something. You know, pay attention to your vision, lock in into your subconscious mind, and just follow it.
One last thing. I want to hear about someone who spoke life into you.
Spoke life into you.
Let's name that person. Who speaks life into you and hope into you?
My grandmother. She died the year I started my company.
Wow. So you gotta keep going.
Yeah.
Damn,
like,
she made it super hard. Oh my God.
My logo is from her antique plate, and she loved antiquing. She would make me feel like I was the best person in the world. So that year I started, she just put that battery in my back, and I think I'm still running off of that same energy.
What was one thing that she taught you that you remember? You know, grandmothers always say something. My grandmother used to tell me, don't play house.
Yeah.
She used to always tell me, don't ever get caught up playing house.
Yeah.
You're going to fail that way, or you'll get stuck that way. And I keep that shit in me like, damn, grandma said don't play house. Like, so what does your grandmother teach you?
She used to always tell me, like, she was the reason why I thought I was going to make it to the league. Because she would tell me that, like, you going to get there. You going to get there. She would always tell me that. And then when she seen me, like, writing, and then she started reading it, she was I feel like she was more impressed with that than my athletic ability.
Yeah.
She was just impressed that I could just switch over to something that fast.
But just know, like, just because you're not a player don't mean you won't be the coach.
Yeah, definitely. But you don't see that. Like, you got, as an athlete, once you're in that athlete mode, and
that's all you see.
That's all you see. You like this. You know, that's why they put blinders on horses. You don't see nothing else. You just see what you attacking. And it's hard to get out of that. And then once you are out of it, you go through a period where it's like, man, I need that. When you know that fire inside.
High.
Yeah,
it's like
it really is a high. Like
a dangerous one though, because there's so much more to being an athlete than playing on the court or playing on the field.
That's why when you see guys trying to play into their 20th season, because a lot of guys don't know what to do afterwards. This is all you got to think. Someone like Kobe Bryant, for instance. Kobe been playing basketball since he was born, up until he was 35.
That's all he knew.
That's all he knows. So it's like that part of it scares him. It'll scare you as an athlete.
Yeah. It's interesting that he's the big athlete that passed away. My first gig that I got my drummer's book for, Kobe Bryant was there. And I was headed to Atlanta. They were headed to New York. And with agents, they'll say my client. They never tell you who the client is, so you won't overprice them for the gig. And this was for Jerry Seinfeld's son, Seth, his bar mitzvah. And Kobe Bryant was there. And I was like, holy shit. Like, it was so crazy. Like, for him to die, it kind of fucked with me, even though I don't know sports, because he was like the first athlete, the big one that they performed in front of.
Yeah, any sports fan, athlete, basketball player, whatever, like that hurt us all.
Yeah.
Just because he brought that, he inspired us. You know, players like him.
That you got to watch from the beginning to the end.
Right. They're the ones that inspire you to go out and want to play.
Interesting. Where can we follow you?
At Fani Sports, FANI Sports.
Okay, Mr. Capricorn. Thank you for coming.
No problem.